Good morning, everyone. Welcome to East Pennsboro Library's virtual story time with Miss Kristy, the program specialist for East Pennsboro Library. Throughout the summer, I'm going to share many stories and then activities that you can do after you're done listening to the story. Today, I picked my very favorite story from when I was a little girl, The Sneetches by Dr. Seuss. My book from when I was a little girl was so old, I was afraid it might fall apart. So I'm going to read from the brand new copy of The Sneetches to you today. So let's get started. The Sneetches and by Dr. Seuss. Now, the star-bellied Sneetches had bellies with stars. The plain-bellied Sneetches had none upon theirs. Those stars weren't so big. They weren't really so small. You might think such a thing wouldn't matter at all. Look how tiny that star is, but look how unhappy he is. And now he kind of has his snoot up in the air. But because they had stars, all the star-bellied Sneetches would brag. We're the best kind of Sneetches on the beaches. With their snoots in the air, they would sniff and they'd snort. We'll have nothing to do with the plain-bellied sort. And whenever they met some, when they were out walking, they'd walk right past them without even talking. When the star-bellied children went out to play ball, could a plain belly get in the game? Not at all. You only could play if your bellies had stars, and the plain-bellied children had none upon theirs. When the star-bellied Sneetches had Frankfurter roasts, or picnics or parties, or marshmallow toasts, they never invited the plain-bellied Sneetches. They left them out cold in the dark of the beaches. They kept them away, never let them come near. And that's how they treated them, year after year. Oh, that must feel terrible to be treated like that all the time. Then, one day, it seems, while the plain-bellied Sneetches were moping and doping alone on the beaches, just sitting there wishing their bellies had stars, a stranger zipped up in the strangest of cars. "My friends," he announced, in a voice clear and keen, "my name is Sylvester McMonkey McBean, and I've heard of your troubles. I've heard you're unhappy, but I can fix that. I'm the fix-it-up chappie. I've come here to help you. I have what you need. And my prices are low, and I work at great speed, and my work is 100% guaranteed." Then, quickly, Sylvester McMonkey McBean put together a very peculiar machine, and he said, "You want stars? Like a star-bellied Sneetch? My friends, you can have them for $3 each. Just pay me your money and hop right aboard." So they clambered inside. Then the big machine roared, and it bopped them about, but the thing really worked. When the plain-bellied Sneetches came out, they had stars. They actually did. They had stars upon theirs. Then they yelled at the ones who had stars at the start. "We're exactly like you. You can't tell us apart. We're all just the same now, you snooty old smarties, and now we can go to your Frankfurter parties." Do you know what a Frankfurter is? It's a hot dog. "Good grief," groaned the ones who had stars at the first. "We're still the best Sneetches." And they are the worst. But now how in the world will we know? They all frowned. If which kind is what, or the other way round? Everybody has stars now. How will they know who is plain-bellied and who has a star on? We'll have to see what happens. Then up came McBean with a very sly wink, and he said, "Things are not quite as bad as you think. So you don't know who's who, that is perfectly true. But come with me, friends. Do you know what I'll do? I'll make you again the best Sneetches on the beaches, and all it will cost you is $10 eaches." Wow, sounds to me like Sylvester McMonkey McBean might be making some money. "Belly stars are no longer in style," said McBean. "What you need is a trip through my star-off machine. This wondrous contraption will take off your stars, so you won't look like Sneetches who have stars upon theirs." And that handy machine, working very precisely, removed all the stars from their tummies quite nicely. Then, with snoots in the air, they paraded about, and they opened their beaks, and they let out a shout. "We know who is who, now there isn't a doubt. The best kind of Sneetches are Sneetches without." Then, of course, those with stars all got frightfully mad. To be wearing a star now was frightfully bad. Then, of course, old Sylvester McMonkey McBean invited them into the star-off machine. I wonder what he's going to charge this time. Then, of course, from then on, as you probably guess, things got into a horrible mess. All the rest of the day, on those wild screaming beaches, the fix-it-up chappie kept fixing up Sneetches. Off again, on again, in again, out again. Through the machine they raced round and about again, changing the stars every minute or two. They kept paying money, they kept running through, until neither the plain belly or the star bellies knew whether this one was that one or that one was who, or which one was what one or what one was who. Then, when every last cent of their money was spent, the fix-it-up chappie packed up, and he went toodaloo. And he laughed as he drove in his car up the beach. They will never learn. No, you can't teach a Sneetch. But McBean was quite wrong, I'm happy to say. That the Sneetches got really quite smart that day. That day they decided that Sneetches are Sneetches, and no kind of Sneetch is the best on the beaches. That day all the Sneetches forgot about the stars and whether they had one or not upon theirs. So after all that, they decided to become friends because it didn't matter anymore what anyone looked like. So they learned a very, very important lesson, that what matters is on the inside, and that we're all alike on the inside, and there's something special about each of us, and it doesn't matter what we look like on the outside, because we're all the same. So, Miss Kristy decided that I was going to make a special star for myself, and I'm going to include this so that you can make one too. I stand out because I am kind to everyone. And I fancied mine. I'm going to put some glitter on it, but I didn't glitter over the words so that you could still see them. I also decided to make my own Sneetch. If you notice, this Sneetch doesn't look like any of them on the beach. I decided to use all different colors just to prove that it doesn't matter what you look like on the outside. It's on the inside that really matters. I hope you enjoyed this story of the Sneetches by Dr. Seuss, and I hope that you really enjoy the activities that come afterwards. Have a great day, everyone, and I'll see you again soon.